Chair recognizes Mr. Perry for 5 minutes.
Thank the chairman and thank Chief Modlin, Chief Chavez for your service to our country. Been listening to the dialogue today, and it probably seems confusing to many Americans who may be watching. Is this about people that can't get? By the way, can people come to this country legally? Chief, can you just answer that question? Because I just heard that they can't, but can they come to this country legally?
Yes, sir.
Oh, of course they can, right? They can come legally. So I've heard this. It's about people seeking a better life. We need more Border Patrol agents. We don't have the resources that we need. It's all very complicated. Well, it's not very complicated. In 2017, 300,000 plus people came across the border illegally. This is using CBP's total encounter number, 300,000. Border Patrol actually had more agents in 2017 than they have right now. But somehow, 310,000, FY18, 404,000. So it's up. But then suddenly in FY21, 1,660,000. And then the next year, FY22, breaks another record, 2,200,000. Chief Modlin, what changed? What happened?
Sir, thank you for the question. As I stated earlier, migration is incredibly
No, I get that,
complicated.
but what happened? What changed? Did the law change?
So, no, sir, absolutely nothing.
Did Border Patrol's resolve to secure our border change? What changed?
No, and I will say, I'm glad you brought that up. If there's one thing that is unchanged in my 27 years, it's the Border Patrol's resolve.
Hey, we agree with that,
in a
and we
moment to
applaud
flip
that and
from-
celebrate that.
Yeah.
But what changed? Something dramatically changed between FY20, when 400,000 encounters happened, and FY21, when 1,660,000 encounters, and then a record was broken again in 22 with 2.2 million. What changed?
So what I can tell you, sir, again, my experience in the Tucson sector, as that surge started and we did our post-arrest interviews of people that were in our custody, what we found was that the vast majority of them were saying that they believed when the administration changed that law and policy changed.
Why?
That they were
Why did they
allowed to
believe that?
enter the border. I can tell you, sir, again, based on my experience, all it takes is a few people to start talking about things like asylum. It's literally, it spreads.
Was there
all
more
over the-
wall, Chief? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but was there more border wall in 2021 than there was in 2020? Was there more border wall?
Yes, sir.
How much more?
I don't know, sir.
Minuscule or a lot? Hundreds of miles?
Yes, significant amounts.
Significant amount. But yet it still went up. So that didn't fix it. What changed? The law didn't change, did it? You didn't change, did you?
No, sir.
I know you don't want to say it, right? You can't say it.
No, sir. Respectfully, I did tell you exactly why I'm aware.
You know
that
why? You know that the
migration-
migrants said that they thought the border was open.
Yes.
Right? Why did they think that?
They thought that, sir. I don't know. What they told us, was that they had heard it was open. So, and again, sir, in my experience, it only takes a few people to say the right words and it travels. And certainly in this age where everyone has a smartphone, everyone's on social media, the message they get is obviously not always the correct message. And then they start migrating. And sometimes people migrate for
So
other
just based on rumor, we got 5 times more people coming across the border illegally, just based on rumor. Nothing else changed, just a rumor of people talking on their cell phones south of the border. Is that what you're telling me?
Sir, my experience was that a lot of what they'd heard, they believed had changed. They believed law had changed. They believed
Let me just
policy-
tell you what hasn't changed. The Border Patrol's mission, which is to protect the American people, I'm sure you know this, protect the American people, safeguard our borders, and enhance the nation's economic prosperity. It seems pretty simple to me. You know what I got? I got this poster behind me. You see that? That's the exhibit at the DEA Museum. Now, I live in Pennsylvania. I represent a state far away from the border. But there's a bunch of people in this picture from Pennsylvania. 5,000 people in Pennsylvania died from fentanyl coming across the border illegally. That changed. You know what else changed? The number of fentanyl deaths across the United States of America has gone up dramatically and incrementally at the same rate, proportionally, as people coming across the border illegally. You can make the correlation. Sir, what has changed is this administration's approach, not your fealty to your job and your love for your country. That hasn't changed. But what has changed is this administration's view and outlook on what should happen on the border. I apologize on behalf of the United States of America for putting you in a bad situation that you're in every single day, and your members have to deal with every single day, dealing with this. Something this size, you know this, kills 330 Americans, something this size. And with all the rhetoric on the other side saying it's all coming through the ports of entry, how many of these can one of the gotaways carry? Do you know how many a gotaway can carry? How many of these?
Sir, generally speaking, when we see a migrant that is moving narcotics, it's usually a few kilos, maybe 3 or 4 kilos.
A whole bunch of
in a
these,
backpack.
right? A whole bunch of these.
Absolutely.
And how many of the gotaways do you know that were carrying fentanyl? How many do you know?
There is no
You
way to
don't know,
sir.
right? So this claim of 90% at the ports of entry is unknown compared to the gotaways because we don't know what they were carrying because they got away, right?
One environment, sir, the port of entry is a controlled environment.
Right.
Obviously, as you know, between the ports of entry is uncontrolled.
Thank you for your service. I yield back.